HD tower camera on this chilly Tuesday. As you can see there, very gray skies, not too much sunshine today. We're feeling every bit of those cold temperatures. Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Al Conklin. Al, we've been talking about this bitter cold since like 4:30 in the morning, and it still feels just as cold as it did when we walked into the building.
We had teens, low 20s this morning. We're only in the mid-20s now. There isn't a place, Alex, in our entire viewing area that is above freezing right now. Heck, even up to 30 degrees. Again, at the moment, we're seeing a lot of virga. That is precipitation falling from the clouds but evaporating before it reaches the surface where we live down here at the ground. But still, it's an indication the atmosphere is moistening up, and eventually we are going to get into some snow. Now, the real snow is back here across the Gulf Coast region from Texas to Louisiana to Mississippi to Alabama, now coming up into Georgia, even the panhandle of Florida. And as I mentioned before, we've got literally blizzard conditions down here in parts of Louisiana right now. I-10 is really just at a standstill. It is closed, and again, they just don't have the equipment down there and the infrastructure set up for a lot of this kind of activity. Now, locally, here's what's changed during the overnight and early morning hours. The counties you see shaded in purple now are under a winter weather advisory. That includes Mecklenburg and all counties south and east in our viewing area, and that means that we're going to be seeing some snow and, yes, some impacts, and it's mainly going to be on road surfaces. The heaviest of the snow still, as we have thought all along here, will be in the coastal plain and to the south and to the east of our metro area. Now, where you don't have any advisories north and west of Mecklenburg, not to say that you can't get some snow, maybe a few flurries, but it's just going to be a little hard to generate that far away from the center. So where's the heaviest of the snow? Well, it's where the warnings are. Now, this is one kind of aggressive model. It's suggesting more than 6 inches, and that is certainly possible. Somebody inland from Charleston to Wilmington up towards the Outer Banks is probably going to wind up with at least that. But locally here, we think the amounts are going to be considerably lower. What we're talking about here is basically just a dusting in the Charlotte area as we go into the afternoon, late afternoon and evening hours here. So let's take a look at it. First off, as we go through the afternoon, we'll see the atmosphere continue to moisten up. And you notice where the model wants to bring the snow, right up to about I-85. North of there, very little. South of there, yeah, plenty of it. And so that's where I think the cutoff is generally going to be with this. So I'm going to slow this down, take us in a little bit closer. So again, if you're in Statesville, Morganton, Hickory, yeah, maybe just a flurry or two. But from Charlotte to Pineville to Lancaster to Indian Land to Wadesboro, Rockingham, it's a totally different story. So flurries between 40 and 85, generally speaking, from 85 on down southward, a dusting to an inch, very light, fluffy snow. So it's not going to take much to get an inch. And some spots, Rockingham, Wadesboro, back towards Chesterfield, southern Lancaster, it's possible you could wind up with 2 inches of snow out of this before it's all over with. The chances are going to be greatest this evening. This is for Charlotte. And then by 10, 11 o'clock, it's over with. This storm system will pull away. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't have road conditions that will be hazardous because it's so cold right now. We've got 20s now. Anything that falls, even on these treated roads, is essentially going to stick. And low temperatures tomorrow morning, near 0 in the mountains. Teens everywhere else, and so icy road conditions are very much a possibility, if not a likelihood, especially where we can get that coating of snow during the evening and overnight hours. The storm will pull away, sunshine will come back tomorrow, a weak system comes in Thursday, maybe a few clouds, nothing more with it. That's about it. On the backside of this, we are eventually going to start warming up, and in fact, by the weekend, we could be looking at temperatures knocking on the low 50s, which is exactly where we're supposed to be for this time of the year. And next week looks considerably milder than what we're dealing with this week. First alert weather day, we're going to get some snow here again, mostly on the light side, but an inch or two accumulation south and east of 85. Frigid day tomorrow. First alert for those icy conditions in the morning. We'll start to rebound going into Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That's your first alert forecast. Alex, back over to you.